So this is going to be a fairly short video. Mostly to thank you, because I wasn't expecting such good feedback to come my way and such good positive stuff to, in response to the videos that I made, because I just felt like I was like airing my dirty laundry out into the world, and some people found it really, really helpful, and that's what I'm glad. That's what I did that for. So thank you. But like one common theme I found amongst all your comments was this, like, this feeling of validation, and this feeling that you were like, people were saying like, I'm so glad I finally am hearing someone talk about this. Like, you're describing exactly what I'm going through right now. It's horrible, and I feel so much better knowing that it's not just me. And like, I felt the same way when it was 3 years ago and there weren't a lot of videos on at the time about dissociation and derealization. So, and I find your comments in response to be validating for me. One of the questions that was asked to me was, did you snap out of it after 3 years, or did it gradually leave you? And it gradually left me, like very, very, very slowly. It took, I think, about a year to sort of get it halfway out of my system. I don't know if that's even the right word, but And then I started feeling slowly more connected to things. I remember this one day during the summer where I went for a walk and I was able to smell this flower, and I was able to like really smell it, and I started crying because I hadn't really smelt a flower in years, and that just felt so nice. That felt so good. I also want to talk about like all like sort of like the rage that happened during all this time, and how much time I felt like was taken away from me because of this, and how many connections were taken away from me, and how many life experiences were taken away from me because of dissociation. And that, what was I saying? I always forget what I'm saying. Oh yeah, so this is kind of random, but I remember waking up one day and I was like, I don't know, there was like, that night I'd made a big leap in like my dissociation, and I woke up and it was like, so much time had gone by where I hadn't fully been present and been able to see things, that I looked in the mirror and I looked so much older. Instead of being what I last remember to be super vivid was being 19. And I woken up sort of, and I was 22, and I just, yeah, I was really emotional because my face had changed and my voice had changed, and my mom had changed, and just everything around me seemed to get older, and it was really upsetting to see. What am I even doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. There was this one comment that really kind of got to me, or really hit home, was, I have struggled with this for just over 2 years, and I cry about it 2 hours daily because I know how I used to feel and how I feel now. And that is so real. That is so real. Like half of what made it so horrible for me was knowing that I didn't always feel this way, and was I ever going to feel that way again? And that was terrifying. Like, I thought, oh my God, what if I never feel the way I used to feel? And just this feeling of like, not only are you trying to get through this very terrifying thing, but you're also low-key, as the months and the years go by, you're mourning the abilities you used to have, and the connections you used to be able to make, and the relationship you used to have with the world. And it sucks to just after time have that become like a distant memory. And I feel really, really lucky that, you know, the world sort of came back to me over time. But I mean, I was out of it for a long time, and that was really hard. Um, and yeah, just there's a lot of like feelings of, I guess, frustration and anger and bitterness that come with, you know, being dissociated for an extended period of time. I hate my birthdays. I really do. For multiple reasons, but one, like a big one is, how I would see the days sort of go by, and I was still dissociated, and I would see weeks go by, and suddenly we were in March, and then April, and then May, and I was still dissociated, and then my birthday would roll around, and I would be 21, and I would still feel so disconnected from the world, and then another year would roll by, and I would be in the exact same spot I was last year, and it just really sucked to feel like I was getting nowhere, and life and time was just passing me by. Like, that sucked. Yeah, there's just like a lot of complicated feelings with being stuck in derealization for an extended period of time. Basically, I want to validate your feelings of, if you're experiencing this, I want to validate your feelings of frustration, of anger. Sorry, that's my phone. Of hopelessness and panic, and it's really, really hard. It's really hard, and I feel you there. So, yeah, I mean, I would say don't give up. Keep trying to get those experiences that you deserve, and keep trying to make those connections that you need. And I don't just want to talk about the symptoms, the treatments. I also want to talk about like the impact that it has on people, and the impact it had on me, and the feelings that that manifested for me when I was going through this. That's really important. The point is, all your experiences are super valid, and it's like, it's not, dissociation isn't something that, like, I'd say most people experience. So it's really hard trying to explain this to anyone around you, your doctor, like your doctor. Oh boy. If you tell your doctor you're experiencing this, they're just like, you're just depressed. And like, you're probably depressed if you're experiencing this, because it's a depressing experience. And you might be depressed, but it's just, you know, they water it down to just depression or anxiety, and that sucks, and it just feels like it's not getting addressed properly. And trying to explain it to your family or friends is very strange, like, because there's no experience quite like it. Like, when I started experiencing this, I was like, wow, I didn't know that feeling this way was possible. This is new. So yeah, trying to explain this to your friends, and it is just, well, one thing is that there were a bunch of movies that sort of, like, the feeling resonated with me of what it was like, and then most of them are horror movies, because, like, well, you know, it's horrifying. So, and I'm gonna make another video soon with a bunch of movies that I related to on a dissociation level that you might be able to show your friends or family to try to explain what is happening. Because I found that words failed me a lot. Have any movies that you really felt like explained or like portrayed the experience of dissociation or derealization super well? Can you please comment them? Because I want to know. Like I want to watch them. I want to see if I feel the same way. Like I would be really excited to do that. This video is very just completely all over the place because I didn't really have a plan for it. I just knew that today I wanted to set up the camera and film something and say something regarding all the support I've been getting. So that is mostly what this is, but I want to make more coherent videos in the future that make more sense and address specific themes because I want to get into that. Okay. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks.